Yes, I started again, but this time am more careful with women.
The winter air in London had a way of teaching endurance. It slipped through coats, brushed against skin, and reminded you that survival was never automatic, it was chosen. For Adewale Adebayo, endurance had become second nature. 3 years had passed since his divorce. 3 years since courtrooms, accusations, and the night flashing police lights turned his life upside down. The pain had not disappeared, but it had changed shape. It no longer controlled him. He was different now. Calmer. More careful. More intentional. His wealth was slowly returning through his consulting firm, where he helped African entrepreneurs build businesses in the United Kingdom. His reputation, once shaken, was rebuilding through consistency and humility. But the biggest change was inside him. Before, he had prayed for love. Now, he prayed for peace. And peace arrived when he least expected it. It happened on a Thursday evening after he gave a speech at a diaspora leadership conference. He had spoken about resilience, about rebuilding after failure, about dignity after loss. Success, he told the audience, is not what you keep. It is what you rebuild after everything falls apart. After the applause faded, a woman approached him. "Mr. Adebayo," she said gently. He turned. Her name was Zainab Bello. She wore simplicity with quiet confidence, a cream blazer, minimal jewelry, intelligent eyes filled with warmth. She wasn't dramatic or flashy. She felt coming. "I appreciated your honesty," she said. "Not many successful men speak openly about failure." He smiled. "Failure is an expensive teacher. I believe the lessons should be shared." She laughed softly, and something about that laugh stayed with him. They met for coffee a few days later. Then dinner. Then long walks. Zainab had her own story. She had moved to the UK years earlier on a scholarship, studied public health, and now worked helping immigrant women facing abuse and legal struggles. She had built her own life long before romance entered the picture. And that changed everything. She did not need saving. She did not need funding. She did not need transformation. She was already whole. For the first time in his life, Adewale felt no pressure to impress. He could simply exist. One evening, while sitting across from her in a quiet cafe, he told her about his past, the marriage, the accusations, the loss. "It ended badly," he said carefully. "Very badly." Zainab listened without interruption. When he finished, she said something that lifted a weight from his chest. "Your story is not shameful," she said. "It is human. No judgment. No suspicion. Just understanding." Their relationship grew slowly. They attended church together. Volunteered in community programs. Shared meals and debates. Disagreed respectfully. There were no dramatic highs or devastating lows. Just stability. One evening during a walk along the river, Zainab stopped and faced him. "I need you to know something," she said. His body tensed slightly, old trauma resurfacing. "I am not your past," she continued gently. "And I will never compete with it. But if we do this, we do it with honesty. No fear. No walking on eggshells." He exhaled deeply. For the first time in years, he felt safe. Not admired. Not needed. Safe. And he realized something important. Real love does not feel like pressure. It feels like peace. Months later, Adewale faced a major decision. A business opportunity appeared, one that could restore his wealth to its former level. But it came with significant risk. In the past, he would have accepted immediately. This time, he hesitated. "What do you think?" he asked Zainab. She thought for a moment, then asked, "If it fails, who will you become?" The question struck him deeply. Before, he had chased success to prove his worth. Now, he valued stability more than applause. I don't want to risk becoming that person again, he admitted. She nodded. Then don't. There was no pressure. No greed. No expectation. And in that moment, Adewale understood. A woman who truly loves you protects your peace, she does not gamble with your ego. He declined the deal. And that night, he slept peacefully. The proposal came months later during a quiet dinner overlooking the city skyline. No grand gestures. No public spectacle. Just sincerity. Zainab, he said softly, holding her hand, I have loved before. But I have never loved wisely. With you, I am not trying to prove anything. I simply want to build something that lasts. I promise partnership. He showed her the ring. Will you marry me? Her eyes filled with emotion. Yes, she whispered. Their wedding was intimate and elegant. Family and close friends gathered, offering prayers and blessings. This time, Adewale did not feel like he was bringing someone into his world. They were building a world together. Their marriage was built on transparency, shared finances, mutual respect, clear communication. Disagreements happened, but they handled them privately and maturely. No threats. No emotional manipulation. Just conversation. Years later, Adewale unexpectedly ran into his former wife in a supermarket. They greeted each other politely. No anger. No bitterness. Just distance. I heard you remarried, she said. Yes, he replied gently. I hope you're happy. I am, he said. I hope you are too. And he meant it. Because true healing does not require revenge. It requires release. One evening, sitting on his balcony beside Zainab while their two children played in the garden, Adewale reflected on his journey. His wealth had returned, modest but stable. But his greatest achievement was not financial. It was emotional. He looked at Zainab leaning against him as the sun melted into gold. You know, he said softly, I once thought love was about sacrifice. She smiled. It is, she said. But mutual sacrifice. Not self-destruction. He nodded. That was the difference. His first marriage had been passion without boundaries. His second was love with wisdom. And wisdom changed everything. Under the vast London sky that had witnessed both his fall and rise, Adewale finally understood. The greatest success of his life was not the houses he owned. It was the heart he protected. And this time, love did not cross oceans to destroy him. It stayed.